Welcome back, Phosphor Dot fans. Another lovely arcade obscurity here. Now, this game was only so obscure. I mean, it wasn't completely obscure. It did get ported to various home consoles, such as the Atari 2600, because why not? And it's just one of these delightful things that came out of Konami in Japan and made its way over here. This is Amidar. Stern licensed the game for the States from Konami, as happened quite often. Stern bought a lot of Konami stuff over like Scramble. And there's really not an easy way to describe this game. The name of the game comes from the staggered movement. If you watch the green enemies there, they are having to move in kind of a stair-step pattern, whether they're going up or down. And this apparently traces its origins back to a game that obviously predates electronics, a game from the Far East. So I'm sure that really doesn't actually explain anything. Let's just play it and find out. Like a great many maze games, you are trying to clear the maze of certain objects. You have to block off a square at a time. So there's an interesting commonality, I suppose you'd call it, with Pepper 2. Have I played Pepper 2 yet? Wonderfully weird little exity game. So as you clear the objects off the grid, you claim space. So it's... I suppose you could see it as a riff on Pac-Man with the dots and all, but it really isn't. You can force just a few times. If you look down at the bottom right hand of the game display, you see how many times you can force the characters around you to jump. When you claim all the space, you advance to the next level, and things get really weird. Yeah, now, remember the stair-step movement I was telling you about earlier? This is where it either comes back to bite you or, yeah, completely misjudged that. So you have mere seconds to judge which way that's going to go. And apparently on this level, you have to stay relatively contiguous, I suppose, in order to keep the line going. A second level is really, it's always been very difficult for me. Whereas this first level, all you have to do is gather these dots until you have until you've claimed the entire screen. I suppose there's something kind of Kicks-like about it, but what can you say in the 2 or 3 years after Pac-Man? All you had to do to sell a game to some unsuspecting American manufacturer was just be a Japanese company. Well, this game is huge over here. Y'all will love it. Ah. Okay, that was even less good. This is Amidar movement. Let's try it again. Yeah, I'm much cooler with the dot eating game mechanic, because the staying contiguous, keeping contiguous lines going from the last area claimed, that's at least at this hour of the night at which I'm recording this, that's more than my brain can successfully process. So it becomes a bit of a mess to keep up with. The predictability of the Amidar movement really comes into play in terms of avoiding these guys. Because if you can master that, he said, while dying horribly, then you can really minimize your use of the jump button. The jump button is kind of like the pepper in Burger Time. You run out of it at the most inconvenient time possible, and therein lies the problem. Now, if you claim all 4 of the corners, that's sort of like eating a power pellet in Pac-Man. You briefly gain the ability to, at least temporarily, do away with your enemies. I really kind of want to get back to the second level to see if I can do better at it, but the chances of me actually accomplishing this are looking rather unlikely at this juncture. I am not in the zone with this game. We'll give it a shot. Overshoot it. just jumped right on top of me. That went well. So there you have it. Amidar by Stern, originally by Konami. A game that makes sense to someone in some parts of the world. Not so much to mere mortals like myself. Oh well, it was at least fun to give it a try. Thanks for watching.